Don't you wish money grew on trees? I know I do, but as we all know, money doesn't actually grow on trees. So today I'm going to tell you how to save money while you're in college. If you're only looking to save just a couple bucks, this could be for you. And if you're financially stable, this could still be for you because who doesn't love money? As a broke college student myself, I needed ways to save money, and the do's and don'ts of how to save money while in college have worked for me tremendously. So during this presentation, I'm going to tell you how to budget and the do's and don'ts of saving money while in college. According to NerdWallet, a budget is a plan for every dollar that you have. And the Financial Planning Association explains the steps that parents and students should consider when budgeting for college. The first step is to list all income sources on a piece of paper or a computer. The incomes can include jobs, loans, scholarships, and even monthly allowances. This information will be more likely to be remembered when it is put down on a piece of paper, so the student can always have a copy. And the second step is list realistic expenses. These expenses are going to be an estimate because students may end up spending more or less depending on the situation. They may get a late night pizza 3 times a week and you had no idea. So these expenses can be tuition, books, room and board, and if anyone is staying in a dorm, they also may spend money at sporting events, snacks, movies, concerts, or even other activities that are happening on campus. The third step is the parents and students should discuss who is responsible for what. This ensures that the student knows when to limit their extra activities that cost money. Parents normally pay for tuition as students are not financially stable enough to pay for that, but every situation is different. The fourth step is track the income and expenses. You always want to stay on top of this because you want to have more income than the expenses, or you would not be saving any money, and you also wouldn't have any money to pay for the expenses. So this makes it a lot easier to make adjustments for emergencies when you're tracking these. And there always should be a little wiggle room just in case for these emergencies. The fifth and final step is to review the budget plan within the first few months. If your student did not use the meal plan as much as you would like them to, switching a meal plan that is less expensive would be a good option and it would save you money. If groceries, housing, or transportation is more expensive than you thought it would be, making adjustments to the budget plan would be a good option and would be done at this stage. So now I'm going to talk about the do's of saving money while in college. All of these examples came from the College Ave student loans. So the first do is visit your local bank. Typically they have lower fees and no minimum required for college students. And you can also do online banking and you can get an app so you can check your balance wherever you are. The second do is limit takeout meals. You are paying for a college meal plan, so you need to use that meal plan. And if you're not paying for the meal plan, you should buy groceries, but limit them. But if you spend money on takeout, it can add up really quickly. Those late night snacks can get expensive. The third do is choose housing wisely. Living on campus can be expensive, but also living off a campus is expensive too. So if you can find a roommate or a couple roommates, cutting the cost is a really good option. The fourth do is explore campus activities. Instead of going to the movies, they can have movie nights at your college. Sometimes there's concerts, which are all free because you are paying so much for college in the first place. So definitely check out those. The fifth do is get into reward programs. Gas stations, groceries, clothing stores, even technology like Best Buy, they all have rewards programs, and the more you spend, you get discounts and coupons or even money off. So you're saving money. And the sixth do is apply for scholarships. Colleges have all kinds of scholarships for things you wouldn't even think of. If you're left-handed, you could apply for a scholarship. If you have good grades, if you have leadership qualities, if you do a lot of community service, colleges look into those things. And if you apply for the scholarship, then you could get the money for it. You never know until you try. And the seventh do is see campus jobs. Some colleges will pay for part of the tuition or maybe even full tuition if you become an RA for the dorms. Now, they can also have a job as a ticket scanner or even a help desk or a tutor or the person at the rec center allowing people to come in. Those are all pretty decent jobs, and you don't have to do too much, and you're getting half of your tuition paid for, and that is a huge expense. So you'd be saving tons of money. Now I'm going to be talking about the don'ts of saving college and money. These are from College Ave student loans as well. The first thing is do not buy new textbooks. You don't need to. There are plenty of places that you can buy used textbooks or even rentals, which make the cost way less than buying a brand new textbook. You can borrow them from friends, classmates, or you can go onto Amazon or Chegg that have used books that are much, much cheaper. And there's also there's digital textbooks on Barnes & Nobles that are much less expensive than buying a brand new textbook. The second don't is don't leave your student ID at your dorm or house. Student IDs can be used at multiple places, restaurants, fast food places, the bookstore, or your clothing stores. You want to use this because you can get discounts off. Best Buy and Apple have student discounts. Forever 21, American Eagle, Journeys all have student discounts. So be sure to have your student ID. If you are at home with your student ID, though, you can sign up for music subscriptions or even Netflix and things like that. Having a student account cuts the cost. From my personal experience with Apple Music, instead of paying $10, I only have to pay $5. And that's an extra $5 that I could spend somewhere else or put towards my expenses. And even with Spotify, my brothers use Spotify. They don't like Apple, but that's just their preference. Spotify, you can have a student account, and I'm not sure on the price, but I believe it's $5 or less. So that is still a really good deal if you love to listen to music. Do not have a car on campus if it is possible. Having a car on campus can be very expensive. This is from my personal experience of watching both of my brothers spend $500 or more a semester at Ohio State University to have a car up on campus. And they didn't even use it that much, nor are they driving very far. And there's buses, there are plenty of other options that you can use to get around. So paying $500 a semester is just an expense that really isn't that needed. And the fifth don't is do not be careless with credit cards. First, find a credit card that you can afford. Do not get a credit card with high interest rates that you know that you can't afford. You want to get one with low interest rates. And you also want to pay it off in full every month so you can build your credit for the future. The sixth don't is do not stress. You're in college to learn and earn your degree. Stressing yourself out will just make things worse. As we all know, college is not cheap, even with the help of scholarships and loans. So having a budget and following the do's and don'ts of how to save money while in college can help minimize that financial burden. And as Martin Luther King Jr. once said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.